Hello everyone, welcome back. I am once again on my quest in search of the great multi-select tree list view control that I've been hacking on for a while. Once again, gonna pound on that a little bit more tonight. Thinking after last week getting some UI tests in place and actually start getting the thing more fully structured is probably a good idea, just so that we stop chasing our tail with bugs that really probably shouldn't be bugs in the first place if we had done good structure. First, announcement. GitCon! I know I've mentioned this before. It's free. It's coming up October 24th through 26th, 2023. If you were watching this and it's after that date, I'm sorry. But there's going to be some great speakers there, including special guest Sean Astin. And then more importantly, well, depending on who you are, me. Yay! Okay, so if you're interested, feel free to sign up. It'll be great. Okay. So, I have bumped through a couple PRs, cleared out a bunch of these. Yeah, a lot of this stuff is cleared out. Trying to remember what was going on here. Just going to try to clear this guy out really quick. This is fine. Because I think this was just Nikolai interested in pulling all this information back. Yep. I am curious on this null forgiveness operator here. This one gives me a bit of pause, because the reason get value for option returns null is because options by definition are optional. And it would not, and if they aren't specified on the command line, it will return null. Unless there's something marking it. The only time I think the null suppression is appropriate here is if the options class has the is required property set to true, which is not true here. So I'm not sure if this really should be there, but let's check usage real quick. Close that. App startup page. I'm willing to bet it just doesn't matter because we clear that. See, this one is then parsing into a nullable string, which makes sense. That's a nullable string. That's irrelevant. Let's see here. This guy here is passing app startup page all the way through. Yeah, I think for the most part, this is fine. Just trying to look and see where that extra nullable. I don't see a code path. Let's see here real quick. I want to check main demo. That's fine. Where's app.xaml on main demo? Because there's app.xaml there. App.xaml here. Yeah, these are both coming through as nullable strings. So I think then the only thing left is just gonna, oh, come on, GitHub, don't be mean to me. Let me multi-line select. Is dropping the null forgiveness and then declaring this as a nullable string because it looks like it's coming out, like this method's marking this value as non-nullable, but then always assigning it into a nullable value, which is why it's not biting anywhere. So it's only briefly wrong, and then I'll just slap an approve on it. So those people who work with me on a day-to-day basis know that if I put an approve on a PR, it largely signifies I don't feel the need to have me recheck this PR unless you think it needs it. Let me just double check the comments here. Let's see. Let's see. Then there's that. Yeah, so that was the last of the thing from a couple weeks ago. Great. Okay. Nope. Probably gonna want this thing. Okay, so. Let's go. So, quick update on where I am. So I started down the path of starting to write some UI tests. This project uses a library called XAML test written by me. So I'm really heavily biased in its favor because I like XAML test. So if anybody is interested, this is not a general purpose UI testing framework. It may work for that, but that is not its intent. It spins up kind of an empty WPF app and lets you arbitrarily insert content into it so that you can write more low-level UI type tests against it. Most UI testing frameworks go against the accessibility APIs, which is fine, but those are designed to simulate users. This is designed to be a little more unit testy level, but at the UI elements. Most people will do like STA fact or something so that they can get a UI thread and unit test their controls. The problem is that doesn't give you the same kind of flow as actually putting it inside the WPF rendering pipeline, which is what this library wanted. It's a whole bunch of templates and styles and triggers, and darn it, I wanted to test that in a real WPF app. So that's what this library is aiming to solve and what it works rather well at. The intent here is it's going to load up a user control because there's two ways it can start. It can either take in an arbitrary string like this, and this is just the content it's going to dump into your WPF app for you. And this test base that I've written builds on top of it, but adds some initialized methods that set up all the material design, default styling, and whatnot. So XAML test doesn't have that built in, but I wrote a little test base that has the material design stuff, and then all the UI tests are built on that. So you can feed it a string and just get the control right back out and start playing with it. Or if you need to do something a little more dynamic, like, for example, set up view models and code behind and that kind of stuff, you can feed it a user control and do whatever the heck you want. So I've built a very simple user control. It has our new TreeListView. It has an item source, a template that I haven't tested yet, so that's going to be interesting. You'll note I did one kind of cheap trick, is I set its data context to relative binding of itself. So rather than like making a view model for this thing, I literally just made it the view model and fed it into itself. And that way I could just put my observable collection right on my control. Boom, boom, boom. Create some items, does this. Huzzah, we're off to the races. In my test, I've given myself a convenience member. When it fires up the WPF shell, that's running a separate process from your test itself. And so the question is, do you want to attach your debugger to both processes, your running unit test project as well as the WPF shell, or not? In this case, I'm saying not. And the reason is because I want to be able to hit this breakpoint, pause my unit test thread without hanging my other app and be able to clicky. So for example, I have this, and you can see I can click, I can move it around, everyone's happy, and yet I am paused on a breakpoint, which is great. And if the debugger was attached to this, it would freeze them all. Okay, so we have this, we go add. We can see that it's adding items, add. Ding, ding, ding. Because there was bugs in here that we found before where we would get all of a sudden get off. And I don't remember where they were. And so I want to try to find them. Okay, so that's interesting. So we're getting close to being able to track down what these bugs are. But I want to write some tests that simulate the bugs and then fix them. That's the game plan. Okay. So we got that going, and now we're just going to build out the rest of these tests. So I've pulled out the tree list view. I've pulled out the two buttons. I can now do some assertions. So we're going to simulate, I think, let's do visual element. Let's see, tree list view item. Trying to remember, because we did the tree list view. What are the individual items in here? Because didn't we have a custom item? Like, this is the part where we might start building things out a little bit more. So that's your internal collection. Content presenter. Tree list view item. I've got a I've got a naming collision problem because I named this thing TreeListView item. Just make this thing tree item. Save ourselves on some collisions, and then we don't have to worry about disambiguating the fully qualified name. Okay, so that goes like that, that goes like that, that goes like that. That goes there. That goes, nope, nope, that's not what I told you to do. Do that. Okay. All that's set up. There's not really anything magical here. The add method just slaps the guy in, and you can see it just takes the parent, puts an underscore plus the current child count, just so that it's random, but it's deterministic enough that I guess it's not really random. It's a made-up value, but it's something that will help diagnose where problems go wrong. We just start with a few items added. Okay, I think that gets that working. I think we just got to change the data binding data type here. Yeah, shut up. Stop it, stop it, stop it. You're fine. You're fine. I don't think we actually need... Oh, we do need this X name because we reference it in the code behind. Okay, close that. Okay, so we're going to do TreeListView item. And let's see, second item. Gets TreeListView get element. Let's see. Trying to decide what's the easiest way to do it. We don't want to just do... Let's do an element query based on content. We could pull the text block. Is that a better option? We can get ourselves all the way down. Well, let's see if this works. I think it will. Let's see. TreeListView item. Let's collapse you. These lines are getting a little too long for my liking, but you know what? What you gonna do? Let's see. So this is going to be x lambda x dot content. And we want to find the one with a value of 1. What's your problem? Oh, I didn't await it. Picky, 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 picky. Let's see if this actually works. Semicolons are a thing in... Oh, yeah, no. No, I know I clicked the yes button in Visual Studio, but I meant no. Come on. Terminate, thank you. Do what I mean, not what I say. I'm really looking forward to as a Copilot debugger. I'm feeling this is about to crash because it's not going to find this. Yeah, because the content item is actually going to be a text block. So let's do text block, text. And this is why I say that this is perhaps not the best UI testing framework for people. Because a UI testing framework would have worked just fine for that. But because this thing is acting very specifically on the visual tree, inside the TreeListView item is a text block, and that's what actually contains the text based upon our... Yeah, so there it actually found the item. Great. Okay. Come on. Oh. There we go. Okay, so we want to do second item, click. We want to select it. And then we're going to do add button, left click, and we'll do that, I don't know, 3 times. Yeah, so let's do root get. Did I ever implement the get elements? Oh, I didn't. That's interesting. I wonder why. I remember I started looking at doing that, and I don't remember why I stopped. Of type with name. I feel like I want to do an index-based query. not in. Interesting. I just realized I do have an index-based query. It's almost like I had planned for this. But I don't expose it out anywhere. It's kind of dumb. I'm just curious. I'm just curious. Does this also work? So I assume this is going to, but get element tree list view item, and I would like to get sub 1. Let's see. Tree list view item. Curious if this actually returns me an item or if it's going to time out. I wrote this library. You'd think I'd remember what it did. I'm guessing that just crashed and didn't find the item. Because I don't think it's hip to starting with an index. Yeah, I think it wants to find... Index was outside the bounds of the array. That's not a real useful thing. Should probably have it be a little more helpful. Not to self make this better. But for now, don't need to make it better. Just do this, and I won't worry about it. Okay, so we're gonna click on the item, click on the left button. Yeah, we should probably also add something like and get parent. I realize this will let me walk up the tree a little bit, but I feel like I want a get element parent or something. Actually, real quick, I'm gonna just log that as an item. See, this is let's see. Create new get element parent API. Great to be to specify a query similar to get element, but work up the tree rather than down. Boom, done. Okay. Okay, click the add button. I think then the failure case was then click on the second item and then await remove button, left click. Oh, I think that was the failure case. Now obviously we need to write some asserts, but I'm kind of just wanting to run this. I want to find the appropriate list of clickies. That didn't do what I wanted, so it must need to be nested. If I add an item, all right, so I add the items there. If I add the items here, if I remove 2, 1, that works. If I add a bunch of items here and I expand it, and I remove it, that's where we get messed up. So we want to add items, expand. Okay, hang on. Let's reset us back into a clean state. So I want to add items, expand, then remove. Oh. So add items 1, 2, 3. And then if I remove, am I hung? I just straight don't work. I can't tell what's happening. Am I crashing? Okay, so short version, we want to... Wow, this guy has really got itself into a tizzy. Should make sure I don't have a stray process real quick. Sometimes, because it spins a external process, it can easily get itself wrapped around the axle, yeah, and leave something running. Okay, it does have a drop dead thing that should kill it, but I think if its main UI thread gets in an infinite loop, it gets stuck. I don't have an extra thread spinning to monitor. Might not be a bad idea. Okay, so we want to take the item, bing, 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 and then we want to expand. Let's see. So we're gonna just define this. Select second item. Add 3 children to it. We want to do expand item. We shouldn't actually need to re-click on it. And then remove second item. So what we would really like to do is get... So I guess the problem is I have to be able to get that expander, don't I? I need the expander in order to grab it. So how do I expand you? Because I need the TreeListView item. I would like to click on... did I add a... I'm trying to think of what's the easiest way to go up through here. I'm wondering, oh, that's not what I want. I'm too used to, I'm wondering if I do just go, because I control the template, I wonder, is it bad if I just jump up a level? I just want to look at the visual tree. This is one of those areas where I got this cheater idea where I want to rebuild XAML test using .NET Interactive. See, I want to go up because I'm all the way down here at the see, I'm all the way down here at this text block, and I like want to go because I'm down at level 23 down here. Right? Let's see. I just realized I don't have zoom in Karnak running. See, because I'm all the way down here at this level 23, and I really want to get myself up to here. I kind of want to just go at the tree list view and grab the right item. So let me look here real quick. I think I did this once already. Yeah, that's the syntax. That's what I want. Let's see. Get element tree list view item. Let's see. Tree list view item of 1. Tree list view item. That gets me up to the top. Okay, let's just make sure that that gets me where I want to be. I do think I should change it so that indexers could be used directly. But actually, it kind of makes sense why that didn't work. Okay, so that worked really well. Excellent, 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 excellent. Okay, so we would like to be able to have a click expander. So I kind of feel like what I'm gonna do here, public static class tree list view extensions. So I firmly believe in aggressive refactoring. Task, click expander. Let's see, this visual element TreeListView item. I don't know. That. Okay, so in order to be able to do this, we're going to have to go with await item get element. And then I have to remember what the heck is in that thing's template. TreeView. Yeah, also, Lay's Visual Studio came with this feature. I kind of like it. I'm on the fence. It's kind of nice to be able to keep track of your context. It's a little unnerving at first, but it's not actually that bad. It's once you get used to what it's doing, I kind of wish this separator bar at the bottom was a little more distinct. But I haven't bothered to play around to see what kind of config is available. And I'm not even sure I want to. Sometimes I get lost in the idea that this is not part of this, and I wish this would show like the white space and everything with it. Like I want whatever formatting was here to show up here, because I clearly can select the lines, which is cool, and jump straight to it, which is nice, but I want it to look like what it does in the text editor view. Okay, so I can see that I'm inside the control template for my TreeListView item, even though I've scrolled past it, which is fairly cool. Okay, so what I'm looking for is the toggle button named expander. So what we are going to do then is in our tests, we want to go with toggle button, and we want to find the one named expander. Let's see, visual element, toggle button, expander button. This way, if this ever changes, I have to update my code in exactly one place. Look at that. Copilot, you're on point. I'm going to move you to your own file. Okay. So then to expand the item, I just do await second item, click expander. Wonder if I should rename that left click expander. Yeah, that has some nice symmetry. Okay, so if we debug this test, this should, it might reproduce the bug. I guess that's the question. We're going to see if it does. Well, it definitely reproduced the hang, so there's that. So that's the hang is not good. Okay, so we expect this test to pass. We burn this process to the ground. Okay, so we're clearly hanging on something. But let's write a couple quick assertions really quick. So we want to grab and I think what we might do is we might just add a quick thing, public static task of string get content text visual element of TreeListView item. So we're gonna go visual element of text block content gets await item get element text block. So as long as this guy only contains a single text block inside of him, this works just fine. Return await content get text. That way we can do this once and be done. This guy wants nullable, doesn't he? Yeah. Okay. Great. Okay, so we want to pull back. I mean, TreeListView. We don't really have an easy get children count, do we? Well, but I guess the easiest thing to do is this same query twice, right? So, found first item, found second item. So, we expect to get back both those items, and then we do assert, let's see, equal, we expect the first item to be named 1. If we do await, found first item, get content, didn't I call it get content as text, or what did I call that sucker? Get content text. You gotta name it properly. Okay. Get content text. Boom. And then down here, we expect that we've deleted the first one, so we expect the second one to be a 2. Okay, so this test should fail at minimum with a timeout, because we seem to be hanging. So let's track down this thing first, and we're going to turn debugging on so we can step across into it. Hey, Deflux. It is going good. We have bugs, but now we have tests that reproduce bugs, and now we will squash bugs. Or at least that's the game plan. That is the game plan. Okay. So we would like to migrate everyone to .NET 8. Don't tempt me. .NET 8 is, I'm probably going to wait just a little bit, but as it gets close to November, preview builds of Material Design will probably have a .NET 8 target. It doesn't really matter, right? You can have a .NET 8 app and then pull back and reference this library just fine. But if you multi-target against .NET 8, you pick up all of the extra performance bits that are in there. So it's like it's kind of nice. I migrated a bunch of stuff this week. Cool. I'm guessing that means it's been stable enough for you. It seems pretty good. I've actually been helping. I don't know if it's actually live yet. Okay, quick minor show off. Let's see here. If I do primary, it hasn't dropped yet. But if anybody's interested, kind of so like no UI stuff. Yeah, no. The only thing that gets interesting is some of the newer language features. The primary constructor feature is the one I am most disappointed in. There's some weird edge case stuff with it, and I was helping put together some of the content in here. So you will be seeing stuff show up on this. So did you see the new EF stuff? Only a bit. Is there something specific? .NET 8. Ooh. No, this is the one I saw before. This was the one that was back in February. What's new in EF Core 8? This will be a good summary. Let's see. Duplicate package reference. Ooh, that's fun. Complex types. Ah, yes. I remember about this. View objects using complex types. Yeah. Yeah, this is like when they went over to EF Core, it was initially like it's this new fast thing, but it has no features, and um now it has all the coolness. Yeah, this looks really nice. So being able to do this kind of thing, and ooh, they're leveraging the new required. Oh, this both excites me and terrifies me. Because EF, when they did their implementation of nullable reference types, it bothered me because you have to write your C# in a very specific way to make EF happy, not to make .NET happy, and it's just there's a disjoint there, and it has bothered me a little bit. But yeah, I like this. This is great. Here, I'll drop this in for anybody else wanting to take a look. One second. I just got to strip the code off. That way you get it in your language of choice. That's pretty cool. Tracked entity, hierarchical D. Nice. Yeah, this one here is going to be a big deal because I remember seeing, because I haven't upgraded most stuff past EF6 yet, and I probably should. But the raw SQL queries into just arbitrary types is a huge thing, especially for anybody migrating around. This lets you smooth over so many rough edges between, like, if you've got a legacy system that you're trying to bring forward. Now, not saying you should do this, but this lets you smooth over a lot of rough edges for most of our stuff. Ah, good, good, good. I'm guessing you guys favor being on LTS releases. That would be my suspicion. Okay. Yep, yep, yeah. Yeah, there's really not any quality difference between the LTS and the STS releases. The only difference is the guaranteed support lifetime from Microsoft. So for people who are able to upgrade rapidly, it doesn't hurt you to jump on an STS. The only difference is if you aren't able to update rapidly and you have some reason why you need that longer support time frame from Microsoft, then favoring the LTSs makes a lot of sense. Okay, so I wanted to check in here because I suspect this guy is going to be the culprit. Okay, so I would like to grab this test. We're debugging. I would like to grab it here, and I would like to re-enable my breakpoint. I'd like you disabled right up until I'm ready. Actually, you know what we're going to do? We're just going to do this. Burn that to the ground. Disable. And then I'd like to come over here, and I'd like to pause here. I'm going to pause here, and then I'm going to go set my other breakpoint, and I want to see what's going on. Okay, come on. Bing, bing, bing. There we go. Oh, I just realized I've got an obnoxious thing because I've got topmost set. Stand by. I gotta put this on a second monitor so I can go click my breakpoint. Okay, and then we're gonna hit continue. This is gonna be real annoying to debug with this guy sitting on top, but we're gonna do our best. Wow, this is gonna be real annoying. Put it down in the corner where I can see around it. Should probably just go turn topmost off. So remove at. Oh, is this gonna cause recursion? Can't get to this. to the thing that I want to get to. Suck. Hang on. We're gonna do this again. We're gonna try this one more time, only this time with topmost disabled. Okay. You die. Go away. Thank you. Okay. We need to adjust the topmost because this is gonna be real annoying if that thing's always sitting on top. It sets topmost intentionally. Just to make sure it doesn't float behind like the unit testing window on the pipeline, but we don't need that here. We do not need that here. Okay, so TreeListView, disable breakpoint. Okay, this time with a test that we can actually see what we're doing on. Come on, compile. Oh, you're probably... That process is still floating out there. It's going to hold on to assemblies. Yeah. Couldn't copy because assembly was being locked. I got it. I figured it out. I'm the developer. Go away, Visual Studio. Just do what I tell you to do. Okay, so that breakpoints. Good. Turn this breakpoint on. And then we're going to continue. I'm sorry, what? Let's see. Time span. This is going to bite me in a minute. From hours 1. Okay? I just want you to shut up and get out of my way. No, we're just going to run the whole thing with debugging on because I want to see what's... I kind of just want to see it hit. It's not... It shouldn't be that big of a deal. We should hit it 6 times before this other breakpoint. Okay, and I'm just going to pin some values here. Oh, that's the problem if we do this. Why won't you let me pin you? Thank you. Come on. Come on, Visual Studio. I know you don't like me. The least you can do is let me see my values. Thank you. Action. Add. New starting index. Old starting index. Thank you. Okay, now we're at the remove. Okay. Go ahead and update. There you go. So we're removing the item at index 1. Makes sense. Old items count. So I remove at 1. Okay. We cleared the items collection changed. Okay. That doesn't seem to be an issue. Remove, return true. Where's our call stack? What, my ID is just dragging. What are you doing? Remove item. And that makes sense. This is all the code from my user control. I remove the item. Keep stepping out. Come on. Continue. And it works just fine. What? No. So if I go unselect, right? And I go add. Great. That pushes a new item on. I go add one more time, pushes an item on. Great. I go here, I go add, 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 expand, remove. And now we're in a UI hung state. I don't know where we're paused. Let's see. Probably not at the right thread. So let's do debug Windows threads. Let's just see which one of these are in something that resembles my stuff. None of these resemble my stuff. Okay, well, hang on. These are the two processes. One of these is mine, and one of these is the UI test. So which one of you has X unit in it? This is test host. Okay, so this process we don't care about. I want to know where the other process is hung at. Okay. We're gonna root handle watch, counter profile. Waiting on async operation. That's the XAML test with the named pipes thread. You know, let's stop this really quick. I'm now wondering if this is an artifact of the test host. We're going to test this on the main one. So if I expand this out, so we're going to make this bigger. And if I then axe him, something's clearly wrong, but it's not clear as to what. That's why I was wanting to write these tests. This doesn't reproduce nicely for me. And these ones, because they're all randomly generated, doesn't give me a lot of confidence. Okay, so this guy here, I believe before I had a breakpoint where I was intentionally looking for, yeah, these things to get out of sync. If at any point one of these guys got out of sync, we had problems. Probably lost those when I torched all my other breakpoints. Yeah, so let's go back here. And I kind of want to grab... I'm willing to bet one of these is actually my problem child. So let's debug this test. The other thing we can do is we can fire this test up without debugging. Okay, so this one did it here. We removed an item. Ah, we are recursively entering this. Ah. I think that's the bug right there. I think that is the bug right there. Because let's see, this guy here removes the index level. This remove at is calling directly. Move at is basically calling straight in to remove item at index. So we can actually make this a little cleaner. So the fact that remove at was calling this just made it a little more ambiguous. But if we do this, double check this, is this correct? We get the current level. We want to remove the item level first. Then we take out the item. Then we go iterating over all subsequent items that are nested one level deeper. And we call remove item on those, causing us to recurse. I think that works. I think that works. We gotta burn some down some example test processes. We got some rogue processes running. Okay. Okay, so let's run these tests again. Debug test. That's better. So I think that will get the first problem to go away. Nice. And then this thing didn't hang at all. Yes. How come terminating there doesn't okay, so this test should now pass. Actually, this assertion's wrong. We expect 0 and 2 because we removed number 1. So that assertion's a little off. Okay, run test, full send. Green circle? No? What are you unhappy about? Expected to actual 0. Oh, because I'm an idiot and I did that. Okay. I was like, man, that doesn't seem right. Okay. Ooh, you know what'd be really nice, Visual Studio, is if you take this little circle and move it right along here. Expected to actual 1. Now that's interesting. I bet you there's a timing issue. Await task, delay. I bet you it's grabbing these things way too fast. And because that is one of the drawbacks. Again, a subtle difference between this library and a regular UI testing library is that it'll wait. Yeah, okay. So what we're going to do is wait for we're going to do this, and we'll change this to an async delegate. That subtly switches the method that's being invoked because I have async support there. Yeah. Then we're going to do await for async. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. We go. Okay. Now it should properly, without the delay, go as fast as humanly possible, but still be tolerant of some mild amounts of delay. Good. Because this thing will wait for, I think, up to, I think it does like a second and a half or 2 seconds. Long enough that if it should override any animation duration. Okay, cool. So that one works. Next up, let's steal this test. Steal this test. We're going to do something similar. Boom. Okay. TreeView with hierarchy delta imitate. We don't want to do displays. How about can remove top level element. And then we're going to do let's see. Can remove nested element. Okay. So we're going to do this. We're going to grab this item. Select it. We are going to add 3 children to it. We're going to select and expand second element. We're going to do that. Add 3 children to it. We don't want to click this one yet. We would like to, well, let's just do attach debugger equals false. Let's play with this really quick and see what the failure case is in children. I suspect expand the second element, add some children to it, add some children to one of the children. So here, right? Oh, I guess I tried to click the expander, but there were no children, so the expander is not visible, so that expander doesn't work. All right, so we go bing, bing, bing. Right, and then I think the idea was remove this. No, that worked, so that's disappointing. Google. I might need some context. Let's see, here, boom, boom. And we remove this one. Add. You can go bing, bing. Touche. Though I will say, I do tend to favor Bing as my search engine. But that is partly because of the, what do they call it? Their Bing rewards program. Every so often I earn enough points that I cash it in for an Amazon gift card. It's quite wonderful. It helps fund my board game addiction. Okay. Now if I remove here, that collapsed. That's not good. We don't want that. So that's bad behavior. That is bad behavior. I think the most searched thing in Bing is Google. Or perhaps Chrome. Let's see here. I'm wondering if we fixed all of our bugs, though the collapsing on me is problematic. So add, and then if I go add, expand, add, expand. If I remove this, I expect it to stay XXX DEFCON talk. I don't think so. What year? A long time ago. Depending on how long ago, maybe, but it's not ringing a bell for me. Okay, so we're gonna change this up a little bit. We're gonna only add 2 children. Let's see. Expand it. Copilot, you're great. But no, you're wrong. Okay. And then, so we're going to go So this guy here, we can actually cheat, because once we expand it, we actually, what's the expectation here? After we expand it, we expect our tree list view to have the 3 initial items plus 2 more. So if I grab item, so if I just grab item 2, this will be visual element tree list view item, child 1. Right, this will be child 2. Both of those should exist. And then I want to add children. You know what? Static async task, add to children. Tree list, or let's see, visual element tree list view item. Boom. I'm just gonna do this. It's 2010. Watch the 30 seconds DEFCON talk about cross-site scripting. I don't think I have. Hang on. I gotta grab my desktop audio. Okay.
Open your browser. Type www.bing.com in the URL bar. When the search box comes up, type in Google. And hit enter. I'll wait.
Okay, I'm gonna save this. I don't think this one does not look familiar to me, but that does look like something worthwhile watching. Wait. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so we're gonna do. So you know what? We can pull this sucker out and share it. Int num children. We're just gonna do this. We're gonna take this because we're doing the same logic in multiple places. Aggressively refactor our tests. We're gonna do this. Go up here. Let's see. Second item 2. Which for the talkie calls triple successes. Nice. And then we're gonna do this. We're gonna go with item, and I don't know, for int I equals 0, I less than num children. I can't type. Num children. Item. I guess I do need the add button. Button. There we go. Boom. Here we go. There we go. Okay. Add children. And then we got to pass in the add button. Then we can kill all of this. And then we can come up here and we can go add children, second item, 3, add button. Await that sucker, and then we get add 3 children. Be a little more clear about what that line's doing. We could use the named element as well, but eh. Okay, so we're gonna do that. Did that turn? Huh, interesting. I remember a long time ago when I was back at university, I thought I wanted to go to school to be a some sort of like pen tester, network security person as such. But I had an advisor that oh, you're fine, Deflux. I had an advisor that's like, you should take this programming class and try it. Darn it, he was right. I got suckered into it. Yeah, I was definitely a I'll say a minor tear to my poor siblings who were forced to then endure me testing all of the stuff that I YouTubed on DEF CON and whatnot. Yeah. If you haven't seen the it's a fairly old movie called Sneakers. It's one of my, like, Hollywood can't make good movies about hacking. Because the reality and what Hollywood wants it to be just don't line up. So they always have to embellish it in some way, shape, or form. But the Sneakers is actually a halfway decent movie. It's very much your old school 90s level bits, but it is one that I enjoy a great deal. So if you're looking for one that's halfway like there's some points where if you're going through and doing it, like they had to do some stuff to make it have a better plot, I guess, to do it. So there's some bits where you just have to turn your mathematical side of your brain off a little bit and you'll be fine. Let's see. So we want to expand it. Then we want to grab the children. Let's see. And then for each of these children, we're going to add children. Let's see, child 1, we're going to add 2, add button. Await. And then we're going to do the same thing here. And then we want to expand. I guess we can do this bit here as well. We can kind of do this and do child 1. Yeah. Time to echo 75. Okay. Okay, there's the setup. This is probably a little more on the, like, arrange, act, assert is really only a good pattern for unit tests, and these tests are very much UI level, so we may write the arrange, act, assert pattern, but it's not that. Okay. Let's see. Add 2 children to each of the existing children. Great. Okay, and then we'd like to select child 1. So await child 1, left click. Boom. And then we are going to remove it. Okay, and then what we would like to do is we would like to pull back the various elements and make sure that we have what we expect. I wonder if I should put this into might put this into a function as well. Let's see, private static async task assert element. Let's see, assert tree item content. Sure. So let's go with int index string content. I think that's all I need. And then I can do this in here. And I just swap out, oh, I need the tree list view. I visual element tree list view. Tree list view. Okay, that gets me to that. That gets me to that. That gets me to that. We just string interpolation our way to victory, and we go index here, and then we come down here and we do content. Okay, and then here means we can go up to our prior test. And this just becomes tree list view index 0, content of 0. Then we just bing, and then this becomes a 2 and a 1. And then this whole thing goes away. There we are. Okay. See? Aggressively refactor your tests. It will not hurt. I promise. It'll hurt a little bit. Okay, but now we can do this, and I think this makes it a lot easier on me. Okay, so the first element we do expect to still be 0. Because we only mucked with adding to the second item all the way down. We expect the second item to still exist. We expect this to be a 1. We expect the third item, because which one did we delete? Child 1. So this guy was given 2 children, child 1 and child 2. We end up removing child 1. So the element content that we expect to be down here is that, right? Because his second child is going to so child 2 is going to have the text 1_1. So we expect that. That's there. The third one we expect to be child 1 content, should be that. And then the fourth one should be 111. Let's see. Sorry. We want that to be there. And then the last item we expect to be, well, we only added 2 children here. Let's add a third child just so that we can have one last assertion all the way at the very end, because this should then be 2. Right? So this kind of leads really nicely. Our top level items are 0, 1, and 2. We expect 1 to be expanded and to have a single child. We expect his single child to be named 1. We expect the 1 to also be expanded and have 1, 0, 0, and 1, 1, 1. I believe that is everything. Just checking my assertions, because this test should fail. And specifically, it should fail on this one. I expect this one to not work because I believe what we were seeing is that second element to collapse when we do the remove. So we specifically expect line 79 to fail. So very important that tests go red, then green. Okay, something's off, and the visual didn't line up with what I expected. So let's do this. Let's put a breakpoint here. We've got attached debugger false. Yeah, good. We're gonna do this, and we're gonna just run, because I want to look at what visually what the UI looks like. Okay, so 0, 1, and 2 are our top level items. Clearly something's gone really wrong, because I think we removed the wrong element. I think we removed the wrong element. What's going on here? This has 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0. It's like when I went to go add child elements, we didn't wait long enough for between the left click. Let's just hypothetically do this real quick. I have a sinking suspicion there is a timing issue between the click and the add because it is not. I suspect the selection hasn't fully been set by the time the second click comes all the way through. Nope, it is not a timing issue. So let's grab it here and back up and look at this. Actually, we're going to put some breakpoints at a couple spots along the way. No, let's just work backwards into it, I guess. There's a weird thing with the way these tests work because it has to pull window focus back and forth. Huh? What? TreeListView item 3. What? So yeah, there's a potential timing problem here of going too fast. So because I imagine if I slow it down here, this is probably going to catch it. Or not going to catch it because the breakpoints will give the UI time to finish updating. Okay. So we've clicked the expander. Why does node 1 have 3 children? 0, 1, 2. The top... Oh, because this guy picked up 3 children. Oh, hold up. I'm an idiot. Okay, so that guy goes there. I guess this doesn't matter, right? We can leave this as a 3, but that changes our assertion here. Because we expect to see 0, 1, 2 at index 5. And then index 6. Because 0, 1, 2 is what we get from the default control. We get 3 top-level elements. We have this guy here. Okay, I think I was just potentially going too quick. I think there's still a timing issue on the expanders, but yeah, so we're going to grab it here and here. Actually, let's grab it here and here. Rather than on the expanders, we'll grab it at the... We'll grab it higher up. Okay. So we got it here. Second item. And we're about to go hunting for item at index 2. 0, 1, 2, which should be this guy. Add 2 children to him and then expand him. So we expect this guy to gain his arrow, 2 children underneath it, and be expanded by the next breakpoint. Okay, 2 items, expanded, next breakpoint. Okay, at the next one, we expect this item to be selected, 2 children, and be expanded. Okay, we expected that and then that to occur. And that is not what occurred. It ended up adding things down here. What's going on with my add child? Because it selects the item. I don't have a logical issue here, do I? Oh, I do have a logical issue because this guy is now expanded, which means he's added 2 items into the list. So I can't go from 2 to 3 because 2 indexes 3 and 4 are this guy's new children. This should be index 5. That's what's biting me. Okay, okay. See, logical fallacies. There we go. Okay, so let's try this. That should... Okay, I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. We got to remember, this is functionally a tree view. Await, task, delay. Let's see. So actually, we can go with wait for should give me the task action. Good. This will slow that down to where it'll wait to show up. Left click expander. I think what we're going to do is we're going to do this, and then I want to do wait for item get is expanded, because doesn't TreeListView item have an is expanded property on it? Is expanded. It does, but we have not included it in our generated stuff, so we need to add it. That's material design spec. Where is our... Yeah, this we need to add TreeListView, and we need to add TreeListView item to the set of controls we would like to have source generated to victory. Okay, because that is going to give me a method now that I can go get is expanded. Boom. Let's see. Wait for func task of bool. So I should be able to just go boom, boom. So that goes like that. So I want to wait for is expanded before I move on. And that should be enough to cause this guy to no longer need this wait for, because the expansion will now be waiting for it to actually expand before it returns on to the next guy. Same with that guy there. Okay, so debug again. This is both a blessing and a curse. XAML test sometimes runs too fast. Ahaha. See that? See that? Mwah! Mwah! Beautiful. And then we do this. We check back. Okay, so this should now fail, but it should fail for the reasons we expect. We expect to see the items to be 0, 1, 1, 1, his children, 1, 2, 2, and what he is missing is these 2, because this is collapsed. So this should now fail at the appropriate spot of looking for the children, but not finding them because they are not properly expanded. Excellent. We have a properly failing test. Let's go fix it. Let us go fix it. Okay. There is something nice when you can do full TDD. It gives me so much confidence that I'm not breaking things as I go. Okay, so where is this going to be broken at? When we remove an item, we are removing from a child collection, which is going to raise collection changed. This is only used at the top level, so he's not at play. This is on the individual item where it watches for children or get children changed. And update has children. Presenter children changed. So one of these guys in here is watching for that child collection. And I don't remember which one of you it is. One of you is watching for it. Where are you? Item on children changed. Internal item source. Because what causes that item source to be updated on that remove? I guess technically it's got to be in here, right? Items source. When we do that remove item, yeah, maybe it's worth pausing and grabbing it here and taking a look at what that remove item is actually doing. Let's grab it here. And then we'll set up a breakpoint here when that occurs. And we'll just step through it and see what's going on. Because I don't see... It's not obvious to me. Okay, so there's that. Breakpoint enabled. Continue. Huh? Get children. Somebody's modifying the internal items collection. JC, welcome. Good morning, good evening. On child, huh? Somebody is recreating. Oh, it's got to be in here. This is the one that triggers. Oh, I bet you it's in here. Okay. Okay, children changed. This then propagates. That's right. Presenter on children changed. Children changed goes here. This gets registered. Find all references. Here. On apply. TreeListView. Items children changed. So this is actually where we want to catch it. We want to catch it here. Okay. Backing up. Turning this breakpoint off. Turning this breakpoint to disabled. And we're going to rerun the test. I think you were around last week, JC. We were chasing down all of the bugs that showed up at the end of the stream last time. But this time I've written XAML tests so that it automates the clicky for me. So we can replicate the bugs and then chase them down one at a time and end with something that's tested by the end. At least that's the goal. Okay, so this we should be hitting here. Attach debugger needs to be true if you want to hit breakpoints. So let's try that one more time, this time with feeling. Okay, collapse you for the moment. Because I should be able to get myself there. Okay. And then that goes there. And then we hit continue. Oh. That's interesting. That is very interesting that we don't hit the other side. That's very interesting. Why don't we hit it? Go here. Wait task, delay, time span from hours 1. Great. Okay. So we didn't get hit here. Is there an official way to style? I assume you mean setting up styles for WPF. There is... I don't think there's necessarily an official way, and I assume this is for styling with inside of an app versus styling inside of like a library, because it's slightly different depending on what you're going to go about doing. So inside of an app, let me pull something here real quick as a sample. Because we did this is one you'll find a couple streams on from several weeks back. I don't think there's necessarily an official way, but there's a handful of guidelines that I would point you towards. So if you are styling for something global, like you're trying to theme out your application, putting stuff at the application level is where you want to do it. However, you want to be careful that you don't just load up. The more you put in your app.xaml, the more things have to be loaded at startup, and that can start to affect your launch time. But if you are legitimately looking for like sweeping styles across the board, like you'll note here, this one is specifically saying, okay, I would like to have all of my checkboxes default to the accent color. So rather than, because you'll note my primary color here is purple, my accent color is light green, this will automatically update all of my checkboxes to use the light green color. Great. If that's what you want, that goes here. The other thing that is quite common to do is to create a resource dictionary with all of like your app related themes. A common pattern that we've used in a lot of apps is, company name dot control dot name of style, just so that there's some naming conventions along there. The company name is probably superfluous because it's always going to be the same thing within an app. So it's like, whatever. But it does help disambiguate, hey, this is something we've done versus this is something built into some library or whatnot that we're consuming. So in some degrees, it can help with that. The other thing I would say is if you reference the style attribute directly, static resource, not dynamic. What's up, Andrew? Dynamic resource should be used sparingly in your app and only for resources that are potentially going to change at runtime. So that means things like colors that may get toggled between like light and dark thing, for example. Those are good to be dynamic resources. But styles usually aren't changing at runtime. They're set once. The styles themselves may have dynamic things inside of them, like brushes, but the styles are generally static resource. I think beyond that, I don't know if there's a lot of guidance I would offer in terms of styling. I think those kind of cover the big points in a lot of cases. Andrew could probably throw in if you've got anything else you want to add. The question was, is there an official way? Oh wait, I missed the last half of the question. Shoot, official way to style an alternate row background of a data grid. Oh, alternate row background of a data grid. Hang on. I apologize. I completely misread that. That was okay, that's on me. Let's go here real quick. I believe the answer is data trigger and go to town on it, but because there's an alternation, what is it? Alternation row index or something to that effect. Everything he said helps. I'm glad it helps. He was just completely wrong. I can admit it. Let me look here. Select all button style, data grid style. There is an alternation row header row. This is the guy. This is the guy. It's very possible we didn't implement it inside of material design. Yeah, it's not implemented there. Huh. I'm willing to bet it's because we don't actually even have a theming color that would make sense there. So I believe the intent is, let me double check before I put my foot all the way in my mouth. I believe row has your alternation count. Yeah. What I mean is, if you're there is lime, what color should the alternation... Oh. So at present, we don't actually do anything with alternation count. I'm just looking at what we have here. Yeah, so the list view... The list view does this. I'm actually not sure I like this. And this is part of where it gets challenging, is one, we don't have a theme color that actually makes sense. The other thing that does, and I think this is probably part of the rub. Let me just double check before because I'm doing this from memory. There was a request I got on YouTube this last week for doing a specific stream on data grid, so I have that on my agenda to actually do a deep dive in, because I've mentioned multiple times that I think it's the most complicated control, and it probably warrants actually doing it. Yeah, so this is where it gets hard, because most people, if they're going to set this, the alternation count is usually like 0 or 1, but there's nothing stopping you from setting it to like 4, which means then you get 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, which is kind of okay, but it's hard to know what the official way to set it is, because you almost need to have multiple possible colors. Now, I believe the built-in WPF theme only handles the 0 and the 1 case. I think they literally just have the if-then ones. So I think what I would tell you to do is, if you are leveraging it, you probably want to create your own style for data grid row. I'll just link this. Create your own style for data grid row, derive it from the material design one, assuming that you're using material design. If not, derive it from the default one. And then add your own triggers for the alternation counts that you care about, which I assume are probably just going to be like 1, maybe. Because most of the time when people are setting it, like, I don't know why they gave us the ability to pick more than that, because I don't know if I've ever seen anybody use anything other than 0 and 1. And you'll probably end up putting in a trigger that's very similar to this. Of effectively just saying, hey, when my alternation count is 1, and then you will probably want to do dynamic resource of your own theme color. You could leverage the hover brush if you want. I do not think that that is a great user experience in a lot of cases to make the hover color your alternation color, because that's going to make it look like the mouse is hovering on all of them, and that just isn't like that. That feels like a poor UX to me. It feels like a really poor UX to me. But what do I know? Okay, so somewhere in here we are breaking. And I don't know which of these steps are the required ones. I just know that this total set of steps adds the bug. Yeah, no problem. Great question. And like I said, I do intend to do a video kind of deep diving into the data grid control, because people use it a lot. And I think it gets sold as this easy thing to get all this great functionality. And you can get a lot of great functionality out of it. It is just, in my opinion, the most complex control of all of the built-in WPF controls. Like, it has so much power, and it can be difficult to rein it in appropriately. Okay, so we expand, we remove. That makes sense, which means inside of here, we really should have been doing. So I'm guessing on potentially the expand changed. Well, no, it's got to be on the presenter itself, because the presenter itself lives inside of the TreeListView item. And it is specifically what's watching for children changed and children being an observable collection. Yeah, I think I want to catch, I'm going to put breakpoints here. Presenter on children changed. And I want to put it here. Let's try that. And because I don't see it. Because why would notifying? It's possible my remove is iterating too many times. Maybe that's the bug, is I'm iterating too many. No, because the items are there. Okay. Come on. Give me my items. I know you don't like giving me my data. Content. Value. I'm going to go there and there. So old value. So this is actually the new value coming in is the TreeView item. No. No, the new item coming in is the collection itself. Okay, so it registers up for collection changed, great. And then triggers on collection changed, great. Because it needs to set has children, got it. On children changed, great. That all makes sense. We propagate up. Next one, we get item 1, great. Propagate, propagate. Item 2, propagate, propagate. Okay. Okay, so we are now in here. We don't hit the top level, but the collection of children has changed. And if we look at it, Mr. X, still working on multi-select TreeView. Yes, I am mildly obsessed. But we have written some XAML tests because I was sick and tired of those bugs plaguing me last time. And we crushed one of them pretty quick, but we are there is a bug in the set of tests where you add 3 items, you expand the middle one, you add I'm sorry. The control starts with 3 items. You expand the second one and add 3 children to it. Or I should say you add 3 children to the second one, then expand it. And then on each of those, or on the first 2 of those children, you then add 2 children to each of those, so we're 3 levels nested. And then you remove the first of those children. This guy collapses, and it's bothering me. I don't currently know why. So this guy came in here. And so we are going to do kind of want to grab do I have access to I do. Ha 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 ha. I do. Content.value, because I want to know which item I'm looking at. And then I want to know how many children I'm talking about. There we go. At least reproducible. Yes. Well, and I think all of these should be easily reproducible. And that's why I wrote the XAML test, because I want to catch them. Okay, so there's that. That propagates up. Great. Makes sense. And we clearly timed out because I'm an idiot. Okay, so we're gonna have let's see, where's the left click expander? Wait for retry. Let's do new retry. I can spell retry. You do it with a thing. Min attempts. I don't know. Min attempts 3. Time span from minutes 10. Just stop it. Stop bothering me. If I'm at a break point, don't worry about it. Okay. Let's try this one more time. Can I not type? For that, I can't type. Pren. One more pren. Okay. Run test. Because I feel like this control is very, very close to being fully functional. Okay, so this is the first item because it's item index 0, 0, propagate. Great. Item 1, 1, propagate. Item 2, boom, boom, boom. Great. That's the base item. We select the first item and we go and add a child to it. That's fine. We expect it. Great. We should add a second item to it. Did we miss it? I may have procced it too early. The add children may not be Oh, my left clicks are going too quickly. That is a problem for me. How do I delay this appropriately so I can see where I'm going? Because I need it to delay. That was terrifying. It did exactly what I wanted. Okay. You know what? Let's do it this way. Let's do it this way. Rather than catching all of these things here, we're just going to do it manually. And we're going to grab it here, I think. There. Should be sufficient enough time. That way I can click the buttons and I've got up to an hour to debug. That sounds like a copious amount of time. Okay, so that should have gotten me into here. We expand this out. It notifies the collection changes. This has registered for collection change for item 1_0. Okay. We are going to add a second item to you, which makes sense. Item of value 1, his collection changed. His children count is now 2. Great. Item 1_0. Interesting. Is that really the one we expect? Just trying to decide if this is the one we actually expect this value or not. Okay. Going to add. Children count 1. Refresh. I don't know why you're being dumb, but the children should have what I expect. Yeah. Collection changed for item 1_0. Why would collection change for item 1_0? Oh, because we did add a child to it. Okay. I guess that makes sense. And we expand it. We trigger there, trigger there. Okay. We go here. We add an item. 1_1 had its children change because we just added 1 to it. Great. We expand it. We now see 1_10, which makes sense. Okay, now we come up here, and when we remove this guy, what we were seeing is this one showing is collapsed. And that's going to be around the collection of item 1. So we want to do a remove here. So item 1, collection has changed. So that makes sense. And if we go up his call stack 1, we should be able to look at the E value and see it's a remove. Yeah, remove. Great. That makes sense. We removed index 0. That's the old starting index of 0. We remove the first item. Great. Makes sense. Okay, we're going to set has children. Should still remain true. Children changed. Great. We propagate up. This should still be item 1. Come on. Be a pain in the butt to let me debug you. Come on. Data context. I should really put a thing on there. Yes, it's item 1 with a single child. Okay, we come in here. We get item 1, index, get children. Oh, he's going to get the children. Oh, I may see it. I may see it. He gets the level. Because when the children of him change, yeah. When his children change, he expects to be able to repopulate these ones. Ah, this is interesting. Because this guy's items have changed. And now we need to update the containers appropriately. And this is effectively doing a full reset. So it's going to remove the items, and then it's going to reinsert the items. That is the bug. So the reason it's occurring is because it is removing all of the items from the tree view. So specifically, when number one's children change, he removes all of the items and then re-adds them back. The problem being is then the expanded state of this as well as these children are lost. That is the problem. Got it. Got it. So when his children change, I guess the question then is, as we iterate, we should be a little smarter about adding and removing items. And we should only add and remove the items for which have actually been added or removed. Now, a collection reset, we're not going to be able to do anything about. That we won't be able to do anything about. But we should be smart enough to be able to iterate through and determine if we are still in his children or not. Because we have his index, and we can then start iterating through the item. And so we know his index and we know his level. Effectively, level is how far it's indented. So by iterating his subsequent items, we know if we are looking at one of his children or not. And I think this needs to change to more of a merge. I think that's what we need to do. Because in most cases, we want to just add or remove the appropriate item that was added or removed. I am wondering if we should propagate up. Does it also happen if virtualization is disabled? Yeah, in this case, it's not necessarily a virtualization problem. It's the fact that I'm controlling the whole list. So even though this thing looks like a tree view here, every node in this is its own individual list box item. So even though this looks like a nice hierarchical display and we've set it up with that kind of template, it's actually basically a straight list view with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 items in it. And it means that when an item is expanded, things have to be inserted and removed from the main list based upon the expansion state. So, for example, when you expand out the one item, what it does is it grabs the children and then inserts items into the main list at the appropriate index. But what's happening here is, so I don't have to, but that's functionally what's happening. So when I remove this 1_0 item from 1, what's happening is it's iterating through the children of 1. And it's saying, oh, the only child in here is 1, 1. So it ends up removing everything and then inserting the 1, 1 back in. So on every collection change, it resets the expanded state. And that's crap. That is crap. Because it just blindly removes and re-adds. And I'm trying to think of the easiest way to go through and make it mildly smarter. Obviously, because 1 is bound to an observable collection. Specifically in our test, The items that we're bound to is this tree item class. It's very simple. It's got a value and observable collection of children. Nothing fancy, right? And then in our XAML, we have a hierarchical data template. Item source is bound to children. Value is set to a text block. So nothing exciting at all. And this is just bound to items, which is here. And so if this children collection has a collection changed, that's what the TreeView item is watching for. And in this case, what we did is we removed the first one. That collection change fires, and it then has to figure out what items do I need to change from my list. I'm trying to think. I think in nearly every case, you're really only going to be, because if I propagate up the, because the issue is all the way down here where we have the collection changed event, this is the one that knows about the action type as well as the index. And I am wondering if a better solution, rather than having this children changed and just throwing away all this useful data, if I actually propagate up the notified collection changed event args and then offset it appropriately. Because I think what I want to do is actually something more akin to what I did here, where I actually handle the various notified collection changed action types and then apply it at the appropriate index. That's probably better. But in order to do that, it means I have to propagate that event args all the way up. I think that makes sense. I think that makes sense. Is I should propagate the event args all the way up, and then when they get all the way up, I should create a new event args with appropriate index offsets, and then feed that into here and let it update the collection appropriately. I think that's better. Well, again, if a reset occurs, all bets are off. A reset means you clear and re-add everything. Don't know anything. But in most cases, we're going to have add, remove, occasionally replace, add, remove, occasionally replace, and move operations, and we can handle those. I think that's the solution. Okay. Now I understand what's happening. Now we can fix it. Okay. At one of my old employers, they used to have a sign hanging on the wall that said, a problem must be clearly defined before it can be solved. And I feel like that's more accurate than I gave it credit for at the time. Okay. So we want to grab this guy here. And I want to do notify collection changed event args here. And I want this to propagate with an E. And I want this to be not event handler. I really want it to be the same type as this, honestly. We're going to do this. And then this is going to pass E through. Yeah, I think that's fine. And then this one here is going to be a... this is just going to be a straight up action reset. I think that makes a lot of sense. I'm just double checking everything through here. Invoke E. Okay, so that's going to propagate up. That's going to propagate up. Now we want to look at the handler for this guy. It's going to be here. And then this is going to be this guy. And then you need to pass E through here. And then we're going to go here. Okay, so that now gets it all the way to here. Hey, Electric Havoc, welcome. Yes, C#, and as long as you can swallow it, WPF. We are chasing the elusive multi-select tree view. For reference, it's basically I want a WPF control that works like this. And despite what it looks like, this is not a tree view. It just looks like one. This is actually a very advanced list view. And we are working on building a custom control that does exactly that. Okay, so we got our event args through to here. And I think what we want to do is pretty much... Yeah, I have to call it the elusive tree view. That way I can make jokes about, you know, seeing the trees through the forest and that kind of thing. It helps with my puns, which I'll apologize for in advance. Okay, so this thing here, I think we actually want to do item source, because this is our custom collection. So we can now do fun stuff with this, right? And I think what we want to do is we've got the index, because we want to make sure that we actually have the item to work with. But I think then we want to go through and offset this. Oh, thank you for the sub, Electric Havoc. JC, yeah, hit me. What you got? My brain needs time to process what I think I know I need to do. I kind of want to do something like item source. Let's see, apply collection change. And I need to pass index and E. I think I need something like that. Let's see, testing change of theme between light and dark. Busy time at work. Have a good time at work, Electric Havoc. Thanks for the sub. Come back whenever. Let's see. Invalid operation exception. Can't get theme outside of a WPF. Application use. Yes. So the error that you're getting there is coming from... So I assume you are on... Are you on the 5.0 preview, or are you on 4.9.0? Calling your modify theme from demo. 4.9.0. Okay. So be aware some because I'm on latest master, this is actually the 5.0 preview stuff. I think most of the APIs are back compat, but I have not diffed them. So I'll warn you. So what that is actually telling you is inside of Palette Helper, it is specifically targeting application current and trying to iterate through the resource dictionaries inside of there, looking for a resource dictionary that implements this material design theme dictionary. This is kind of a, this is a marker interface. So what ends up happening, and this is something I'm not entirely sure I like, is this is specifically looking for either the bundled theme or the custom color theme. So inside of your app.xaml. If you use the demo app, you'll note the demo app shows you multiple ways to set up your themes, whether you want to use the bundled theme, custom color theme, or if you want to specify the resource dictionaries directly. What is not readily apparent from that error and probably should be improved is that if you go with this method, you can't use that palette helper to swap out the resource dictionary, because that interface that it's hunting for requires a derived class of resource dictionary, which is what bundled theme and custom color theme are. These guys here are just derived class of resource dictionary, but they also have the marker interface on them. So if you're getting that error, I suspect if you look in your app.xaml, either this, you're either not using bundled theme or custom color theme, or it's not in a merged dictionary. Bundled theme, okay. So you are using bundled theme. Can you check your structure? Is this kind of path into it matching yours, where it goes application, application resources, resource dictionary, merge dictionary? I'm using bundled theme and merge dictionary. Interesting. And you're still getting that error. Let's see here. Resource, application resources, resource dictionary. And that is going through and doing that. Interesting. Okay. Let's see. Modify theme. Yeah. Boom, 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 boom. And are you actually doing this inside the demo app, or is this trying to do it inside your own app, copying code from the demo app? This palette helper. Copying code. Okay. And then just to confirm, which method is throwing? Is it the get theme or the set theme that's biting you? Because I'm guessing it's one of these two lines that's actually throwing. Let's see here. No, it's set theme. Ah, so get theme is working. Okay, let's see here. Cannot get the theme outside of a WPF application. Oh, interesting. So it's set theme. So you're coming in through here. Let's see here. And let's see, what is this thing screaming about? Cannot get theme. So it's trying to do this on the I'm scrolling up and looking at your error from before. Invalid op. Cannot get theme from outside of WPF application. So it would seem that the only way to have that happen is if application current is null. I'm just curious as to how you were able to have get theme work. If application current was null, you shouldn't have gotten past get theme. Not get theme outside of WPF application. Can you double check which one is throwing? The fact that your exception message from above says cannot get theme outside of WPF application strongly hints that it should be have been get theme that's throwing. Yeah, maybe app startup is incorrect. It's very possible. Oh, sorry, wrong. Is it get theme that's blowing up? Because that would make a lot more sense. My sanity would be restored. Should be convenient. How do I make my Git repo public? I can show you. So inside, so if you go to your repo, underneath the settings page, if you scroll all the way to the bottom, there's the big scary danger zone. Change visibilities at the very bottom. So from your repo, settings, general, very bottom. Yeah, if you want to drop a link, I'll take a look. Okay. Close that for now, close that for now, close that for now, close that for now. Close that for now. Okay, so I think I want a method like this. I think is what I want. Apply collection change at index. Maybe that? Okay, so let's take a gander. Okay, application dictionary, resource dictionary, merge dictionaries, bringing that in. The base color theme, color adjustment thing. And then setting. Oh. Oh. Okay. I see the problem then. Ah. Yeah. Okay, this makes a lot more sense. I have a. Let me just check your view model. I'm pretty confident. I know what the problem is. Also, points awarded for writing good tests. So, you get props for that. Let's see. So let's see features, settings, and then settings main view model. And then this guy here is using palette helper, I assume directly. One of these guys in here, modify theme. Yeah, okay. So this is yucky. This is kind of yucky. So what is happening is palette helper is a class I am contemplating killing in the 5.0 release because of this problem. It should be treated like a UI class, but it's built to be used in a view model. And so it leads you into a path of problematicness. So specifically, when you run your tests inside of XUnit, I clicked too many times. Give me a new tab with the test. There we go. Because yours was down. Yeah. So you've gone through, you've set up a view model using mock. Great. Very nice arrange act assert pattern. This is wonderful. The problem is coming because palette helper is trying to access application.current. Palette helper spelling. So because palette helper is going straight against application.current, this is trying to touch a UI object inside of your test. So problem one is anytime you have code that reaches directly into like window or control or application, one of the problems that you will run into, and if you were able to get a little further on this, you'll hit it, is XUnit runs all of your tests in a background thread. In technical speak, the two types of thread are STA and MTA. So think single-threaded apartment or multi-threaded apartment context. Those are a lot of words. In WPF, you can functionally think of them as STA means your UI thread, and MTA means background thread. Within inside of this, because XUnit runs your test on an STA thread, you'll quickly run into any issues with tests that go against UI elements, and you get bit. And it'll go, no, you can't touch UI elements in an STA thread. You need, or in an MTA thread, you need to be STA, which is great. And there are extensions for XUnit that'll give you like STA fact, where it will then run your test in an STA thread. But that isn't quite the same as running inside of a WPF application. WPF's UI classes were never built with testability in mind. Let me rephrase, were never built with unit testability in mind, at least. It does fine with the accessibility APIs. Because of that, palette helper is really bad to have in any view model that you want to unit test with. So what I would suggest doing is hiding palette helper away. Like, don't use palette helper directly inside your view models. I would go through and, because you clearly have a nice, I didn't look at what it was. There's a DI container in here somewhere. Is it in here? Okay, so your generic host approach, great. Great. And there's some sort of, where is there's going to be a required service setup in here somewhere. Host, configure application services. So wherever this method is, search for symbol. The repository, it's not indexed. So wherever you have this set up, I would create a under application. Makes sense. That application service extensions probably. Hey, look at that. There it is. So I would tell you to create a new service to put that basically just wraps palette helper for you. For no other reason other than to get palette helper out of your view model class, because then you can appropriately validate and write your tests exactly as you want, because functionally what your test wants to verify is that when you toggle your dark mode, that you're saving and updating your settings. That's great. Palette helper has nothing to do with that. So getting it behind an interface or a seam in your code, that way you can appropriately mock it away. I have contemplated on the material design library putting interfaces on things, but I really think palette helper is it's very simple and convenient, but it's not obvious that it's functionally a UI class, not something that should be in a view model. So I would do that. I would pull it out and put it behind an interface, and that way you can mock it away in your view model, and you're off to the races. No problem. Out of curiosity, are you familiar with the AutoMocker library? I will warn you, I'm biased. I'm one of the contributors. I will admit our documentation is crap, but specifically for things like this, it can get quite obnoxious, where I just suggested going and adding a new interface that would come in as a constructor parameter, because it means now you have to go and update all of these tests to take in an additional mock, because all of these tests are tied to your constructor signature. AutoMocker basically aims to decouple your tests from your constructor signature, so that you can add in additional constructor parameters and you don't have to update all the tests. So, not necessarily something you have to use, but if you are interested, functionally you end up doing something very similar to this. At the beginning of your test, you create an AutoMocker instance, and then rather than calling new settings view model passing in a mock, you just do mocker.create instance of settings view model, and then you can act on that. And then there's lots of methods for being able to do the setups. And if you need to pull a mock out of here so that you can do setups, you can either do the setup call directly on the AutoMocker instance itself, or you can do AutoMocker get mock, and it'll hand you back a mock of whatever you ask for. And then you can do your usual setups and verifies and all that stuff if you want. So if that helps. Like I said, I'm biased, but I'm also a contributor to the library. So, okay. Apply collection change and index. I think as I was talking, the more I talk, the more I like this method. So, we're going to go here. Yeah, no problem, JC. And like I said, points awarded. Your code is very clean and easy to read. And especially with the nice unit test setup. So, that is commendable. In my day job, I wish all of the code that I looked at was that clean. Oftentimes I look at it. There was some code I looked at late last week, and it may have possibly been the worst C# I have ever seen in my life. And that's coming from somebody who actively tries to write bad C# to see how badly I can break it. It was bad. It was really bad. I can't share a lot of details because it is private to the client I was looking at, but oh man, there was face palming moments, lots and lots of face palming. Okay, so this is going to be the source item index, and I think what we can do is I think we can just do index move at index plus. This is probably bugged because I think it's supposed to actually be using I. So this one actually should just be index like the other one. So that one's probably bugged from above too, which would only bite me if you were able to get multiple ones in, which I don't think you currently are. But we'll fix it just the same. Okay, so that gets you in there. Yeah, so this thing comes in here. I'm wondering if we should prevent resets. Well, because we'll have to figure out how to implement that here because I haven't passed enough data in order to do it. Add, remove, replace. I think this needs the plus index here because we're using the I to index into E as well. And I need the index to only apply inside of this, because here we're inside of our custom observable collection. I believe this is what I want. Okay. So this clearly doesn't work right here. What are you suggesting? E is not null here. Yeah, whatever. Go away. You don't count. So in order to do a reset, if we get a reset coming through here, I mean, I almost think a reset shouldn't make it to here. Because if we get a reset from a child, what does that actually mean? Should this exist outside of the collection? Because if we do this outside of the collection rather than inside of it, we would have context to perform a reset. Because a reset would functionally be the old code. I was just secretly trying to write it in here so that I could leverage this guy again. But this is slightly different. Okay. Make it work, make it right, make it fast. We're going to move it out into the other case. I think I have access to all this stuff anyway. TreeListView here. So we're going to put you here. And then we're going to make you private. And then we're going to drop this. And so this is going to end up being, I've already typecast it. You can actually do observable collection. Because what are you? I mean, if we do that, we can also go static. Kind of getting to be a long, ugly looking line, but whatever. Let's see. So this is going to then be item source dot, because before we were subtly doing a this dot. And so we're going to do that. We're going to do that. Okay, so that gives us enough there. And in this case, before we were doing a T, and I don't think we really need to do the T anymore because we know we're of type object. We can drop the hard casts. And those are now happy. Because we have to be of type object to play nice with the base class. Okay, so that gets us to there. This wants item source to be passed in there. And now in the reset collection, we kind of want to just do this. I mean, we could flatten this thing all the way. Okay, so let's do this. Do this. We wrote a method, but let's now abandon the method and go straight here because now we have access to everything. We don't have to. We can pull it out later. Can always pull it back out if we need it. Okay, so that gets us into here. We named our variables well, so that makes this work nicer. And so this doesn't really exist. Because we don't really want to do an items clear, but we do kind of want to do this. Like this is functionally the reset case. On the other ones, we can do manipulations of the collection. But here, if an item's reset, we basically have to throw away all of the children of that item, reset them, and put them back, which is what this was doing. So then the fix here is we shouldn't fall into this case. When we remove the one item, we should fall into this case and have it be handled properly for us. That's the theory. Test it. Test it, test it, test it. Proof's in the pudding. Breakpoints. Disable. We're just going for gold. Going for gold. Please work. Doo-doo. Right. This is going to be a long time to wait for this test. I propose we don't wait for the test. Yeah. Let's remove the task delay for 1 hour. Same with this one. Just as a proposal. It is probably going to hang the process for an hour. Oh no, because XAML test does have a heartbeat thread that's inside of it. So as long as that thread doesn't get stomped on, it will actually attempt to terminate itself. It's just the problem can come if in its heartbeat, if something either hangs the process. What started this test? I don't know what ran that code. But you're running. Stop. Stop Test Explorer. Okay. I would like to rerun this test now. You added the item, you expanded. You're acting like you still have the 1 hour delay in here. I'm willing to bet you didn't rebuild yourself properly. I am willing to bet the Test Explorer likes to keep a process running as a performance enhancement. It is a pain in the neck when it holds on to extra assemblies. Okay, yeah, refresh yourself. It's concerning me that it keeps kicking off this run despite me hitting rebuild. Going to do that. I'm going to just reboot Visual Studio real quick because I have a strange suspicion there's a process hanging around that I would like to have it not hang around. Come on. No, apparently not. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Come on. I just want to verify that my test works. I'd really like to see both these tests go green because these were the only two failure cases that I knew of, at least in terms of functionality of my TreeView. So if this actually starts working, that'll make me really happy. Because then we'll start focusing on actually getting the rest of this in place. That is horrible. Don't indent like that. We don't need all that extra white space. Okay. I believe I saw a return in the middle of a method. Yes, I think that was the one I just cleaned up. But you know what? Just for sanity's sake, let's just hypothetically take a quick gander at the diffs. All those are fine. That's fine. And that one we're not going to check in. Okay, so these were the key fixes. The reordering there and the calling of remove item directly rather than the remove at. The fixing of the index. The adding of the extra to do. Passing up the notify collection change stuff. There's the break. Notify collection changed. Notify collection changed. Okay, all these seem to line up with the changes that I made. Okay, I think we got it. I think we got it. Okay, so expand, 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 run. Huh? Test Explorer, you be dumb. Okay. We're going to debug this test because for whatever reason, I don't trust you anymore. Because it seems like it's hitting the breakpoint on 59 and then not making it to 62. Okay. Huh? So it... What? It hit the breakpoint on 59 and then didn't hit the line on 62. Somebody has cached something in a very bad way. And I kind of want to just blow away things. Give me my everything window. Material, design, themes, UI, tests. See, there's a handful of things where I just don't trust them anymore. Yeah, all of you don't need to exist. There. Just torch them all. Real hard to hold on to something that isn't there. There. Dear Test Explorer, drop your references. Okay, when I debug you, you should hit my breakpoint. That one on 62, the one you previously didn't claim exists. I'm not crazy, right? I can't be that crazy. How? There is a rogue process. There has to be. There has to be a rogue process for the test runner. Okay, where are you? Where are you? I'm gonna burn that one because I don't like it to begin with. Web view host. Probably shouldn't blindly kill it, but I kind of want to kill it. Someone is holding this thing open, and I don't want it to be held open anymore. Die. Don't see it. If it's there, I don't see it at all. And let's just kill the test host. That put it down hard. VS Test Console. I would have expected restarting Visual Studio to terminate all those things. Okay. You should now have to recompile and restart up and get yourself a brand new one. Wait, what? How are you still running? How? Wait, what? Okay, this is really bothering me now. We're going to terminate you, and then we're just going to start hunting .NET stuff and murdering it all. Should be mildly careful because I've done this before and accidentally killed my stream. So I'm going to apologize in advance if I do something stupid. Like terminate something that looks .NET-y that ends up not being. Where are you? Where are you? Windows. I don't see it. I definitely don't see it. Let's try this sucker again. Okay, build, rebuild solution. You should be in a very clean state at this point. I'm wondering if I need to put it down, but how would you get to this line and not to this line? I did put a timer in this, didn't I? That's okay. I'm an idiot. There's the bug. I'm an idiot. And I skimmed over that when we reviewed the commits. And I skimmed right over it and didn't think it through. Okay, that'll make a difference. Okay, so we failed, but let's figure out why we failed now. Let's grab it here, and I want to look at the state of the UI when we get here to figure out what went wrong. We might just have to have a slight delay in the okay, so the one thing I'm noticing, and this is usually the telltale sign of something being off, the animation for the selection hasn't actually moved yet. So I think there is just a timing problem between the selected and not selected. So I think what we are going to do, we are just going to await task delay. Just allow the selection time to move before it actually give the selection a chance to jump over. Wow. That it didn't seem to actually remove. So let's test and see, is that an issue with our new code or not? We did just add code that fires specifically around that case, but apparently the add works just fine. Okay, so remove just doesn't work. Excellent. Excellent. I was worried it would make sense. Okay. So the thing we changed is obviously the problem. We're going to just grab it here. Well, no, not there. Or is that the method we just added? This is the items collection. TreeView, item source changed. Where are you? Yeah, we want to grab you here. This remove is the problematic child. This delay might not be necessary. The issue might actually just be that we have bad code. Patch debugger to the other side. Around we go. So why does that remove not remove at the right element? Ding, ding. Okay, so we have this guy coming in. We have an index of 1. Oh, is that actually correct? I don't think an index of 1 is what we expect. Because the item in question take a look at this. I think there may be a logical flaw here. Because one is the index of the parent, not the index of the item removed. So that actually might be okay. No, it's not. We want index +1. I'm just surprised that this thing is not falling over. Old items.count. Wait, why didn't we iterate through this? Oh, because ha 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 ha. I subtly changed these from 0. Got it. These should probably remain at 0, and this should be I plus index. And then we should do index +1. Or I guess index plus. And this warrants a comment. We push the index forward by 1 to be on the first element of the items children. Dang you, Copilot, showing off. Okay, so this needs to be plus index. This needs to be backed up. We're going to move this up here. To be like that. This no longer needs to be index +1. This no longer needs to be +1. This no longer needs to be +1. This no longer needs to be +1. These ones do need to be item level +1 because item level is the parent's item level, not the child's. Okay. Go for gold. Just work, just work, just work, just work, just work, just work. That looked pretty good. I win! Ha! Okay, just for fun, let's run both tests. Just make sure we didn't break anything else. Oh, it feels so good. It feels so good. Okay. Now, it probably warrants a few more tests because we've got a switch statement with various things. So I should probably be testing the add, remove, replace, move, reset cases as well, rather than just the one. But this makes me feel a lot better. This makes me feel significantly better. Because this guarantees that this is actually wired up and working properly. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, so let's just play with this real quick. Because last time it didn't take long playing with this. What are you? Why are you maximizing to a weird size? Do you have a max height on the window? It's like there's a max height on the window. I'm sorry, what? Did we set a max height on our window? That doesn't seem right. Max height. Maximized primary screen height. Why the heck did we do that? I'm turning that off. The reason that's bad is the resolution of my primary monitor is lower than the monitor that I'm streaming on. So now we can maximize. Excellent. Okay, let's just play with this guy for a minute. So things like expanding here. Oh, it just works. It just works, and I can do like this, and this. Oh, does my remove on this button only do the... Something weird happened there. And that seemed to work. It's the remove is clearly targeting selected item, not selected items. So that's fine. The multi-selection is not working for the remove yet, but that is okay in my book. That is okay in my book. Okay. Okay, okay. Perfect. I'm gonna call that much better. So, we are going to check in most of this. Turn that on. So the test stuff we want pretty much wholesale now that they're passing. We want that. We do not want that change. We do want all of these change. Fixed both known items bugs with the TreeView. Okay. Boom. Okay. Let's come in here then. Let's take a look at this TreeView one, because there's a couple to-do things that I think are worth considering. Disallow setting grid view. Actually, I want to clean up this here, because this should just be... We don't need to do all this stuff. We just need this, I believe. Okay. But now we have some tests to verify that that works. So we can just leverage said tests and now know that at least a bare minimum of functionality is implemented. So at least to this point, if these tests pass, I can be reasonably competent that adding, expansion, and removing to some degree are all working. That seems pretty good to me. Okay, so that doesn't break any of that. Excellent. That cleans that up. Okay, let's do I think I want to do either keyboard input or double click. I think what we're gonna do is TreeView item. Trying to decide how configurable I make this thing, or if I just implement it. I kind of feel like I just implement it. Yeah, I kind of feel like I just implement it, and we go from there. So, so I think the easiest thing to do here is override on there isn't a good hook, is there? on mouse double click? Is this not something? Are you not virtual? You are. Okay, so why did I not see you? I kind of just want to override you. Override on mouse double click. Okay, I was just stupid and can't read. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. So we'll do that. Copilot, you're getting creepy. That's exactly what I wanted. Thank you very much. That's a little creepy, Copilot. That's a little creepy. Fire this guy up, and then we may go slap a test on this. Because I feel like I want to make sure. What are you doing? That's terrifying Visual Studio. Okay, so short version, if I double click. Great. Okay, we're just going to slap a quick test on this. And actually, I'm realizing this is already underneath TreeView tests, so we don't really need to. That's kind of worthless portion of the test name. Let's see. Double click on TreeListView item. Toggles expansion. Okay, so we're gonna do this, add 3 items, and we don't want to let's see, double click. We're going to just get rid of the arrange, act, and assert stuff because they're kind of meaningless in this context. Okay, let's see, assert true, await. Second item, get is expanded. Boom. And then I'm gonna do this. Let's see, double click to expand, double click to collapse. Okay. And then we want to surprised I haven't written myself a little function to double click. And then this should be false. Okay, so run tests. Not sure that actually collapsed. It may have gone too quickly. So expected true, but was false. So let's actually do a wait.for. And then we can do this. Wait for. False. I guess we have to make this async await. Okay. There. We'll allow some amount of delay for the things to animate and change their states. Interesting. I mean, it looked like we got past the expansion, but okay, let's just wait. I'm mildly surprised because I thought we had just tested both directions, and so I'm surprised that this thing isn't wanting to collapse back up for me. Got it. So it just needs an opportunity to allow selection to be done. So we need a delay. I need to wait at least the double click delay, which is system parameters. What is the double click? Let's see. C# get double click delay. Da, da, da. Yeah. System Windows form. Oh, I don't want to have to do that. That sounds bad. Oh, yuck. Is there not a cleaner way of doing this? What do you actually do? You're just p invoking out. Excellent. Hello. Did you die? Okay, apparently it doesn't know where to go from there. So the short version is the p invoke to get the double click time is exciting. Do we already have that referenced or not? Because I do not want to bring in a Windows form reference if I don't have to. Yeah, that's what I thought. Suck. Okay, we're going to add a new issue. Expose. Let's see. How about better double click APIs? One. Extension method for performing a double click. Well, I can't spell. Extension. To expose a property for reading the double click delay time without needing WinForms. The XAML test is convenient for this because it already has some pinvoke libraries inside of it. So it'll work well. We're gonna just dial this down to, I think we can get away with 250 in a lot of cases. There. Needs to be long enough delay so the next clicks register as a new double click. Okay, so we have now implemented double click for expand collapse. That works. Okay, how about an option for retrieving the parent item? That seems kind of nice. Because this thing doesn't really, or most things don't have it. So we're going to give a better API because darn it, we can. Public. I think we have to do object nullable get parent item. Let's see. Object item. What if an item's in the list twice? Should we return a collection? Should we return only one? I think what we may want to do, public IEnumerable object get parent items, and then this guy simply return get parent items item first to default. This will literally just be a convenience method over the top of the other one. So there is an interesting problem here of dealing with the container item because we don't actually we can't really take object, can we? We kind of have to take TreeListView item. And in that case, it's not really possible to get a collection. Yes. I'm wondering if this is a good idea. The whole reason I wanted this was so that I could specifically inside of here, I didn't like that when I had a item, I had no easy way to get up to its parent to remove it. But I am wondering if that is a flaw of my data model and not a flaw of my control. Because I don't want it taking in, I do not want to be taking in the actual data context model behind it and trying to do comparisons, because that makes assumptions on that object and how equality is implemented on it. And I don't want to get into that. Getting the parent of a tree list view item kind of makes sense, but you know what? I'm going to decree that I don't care. I thought I wanted this before. I don't think I do. Keyboard commands left, right for expand, collapse. We can do that. And then we were going to do a bindable property for the selected items because the regular tree view doesn't have that, and it sucks. So the idea here is left collapse, right expands, up down moves back and forth. Up down I think works just fine here. I think it's the left and right that don't work, because here if I go down, 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 it moves. And here if I go down, 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 it follows through there. It's just the left and right arrow keys that need to work. So, you know what? We could actually just write a test for it. Boom. Left and right arrow keys. Let's see. Collapse and expand. So I want collapse and expand. Okay, so we come in here. Let's see. Right arrow to expand. We are going to left click once to ensure that it is focused, and we are going to get is selected. We're going to wait for it to be so we're going to left click, wait for it to be selected just to make sure we've got keyboard input. And then we are going to go through and do second item, send keyboard input. Yeah. I think we can do something dirty here. We can do key, let's see, right. Wait for expansion. We don't need to wait for a delay. Let's see. Left arrow to collapse. So this then ends up being the opposite. And we do left. And then we wait for is expanded to be false. And we just work. Yeah, something like that. Okay. Now we should actually handle that. Override. I'm wondering if this thing should handle has children. I guess it doesn't really matter. If we needed to, yeah, not a bug yet. Lower on key down. Expand. Switch E dot key. Okay, Copilot, write the rest. Can you not figure it out? I wrote a whole test for you. Do you not know what I want? How dare you? Case key dot right. What does the right key do? Thank you. Now do the other one. Yeah, pretty good. Yeah, what comes next? Good. Good, Copilot. Good, Copilot. Next time, do it all in one and don't make me take so many steps. Like, if you're going to try to replace me, at least, you know, do a good job of it. Okay. Ba-ba-boom. I will say, Copilot at times feels utterly magical. Okay, so that clearly didn't work. Let's fire the demo app up and just see if that... It's very possible I'm just doing something wrong. So, right arrow, left arrow, right arrow. The only thing it's not doing is when you go left arrow, it should jump to its parent. It is expanding and collapsing, but left on a collapse isn't moving up. So for example, here, if I press left arrow, I go to the parent and then collapse. So basically, left arrow should do something slightly different depending on whether it is expanded or not. So on expanded, it collapses, otherwise jumps to the parent. So we'll have to so if is expanded, then we'll add an else here and we'll have to go add it. Move focus to, yeah, parent. You want to implement for me too, Copilot? No, that's wrong. Okay. Oh, did the test pass? Oh, the test passed. I'm just too stupid to realize it. Okay, the test just ran too quickly. That's the problem. Okay, okay, that's fair. If the test is green, we're fine, we're fine, we're fine. Okay. But we should have it... Just make sure all the functionality is still there. Good, 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 good. We should make this thing jump 2 levels down. Wait for is expanded. Let's see, add child items to test double left arrow. Okay, so what we want to do here, So this guy has gotten the second item has 3 items into it. So we want to grab, let's see, 0, 1 is our second item. 2, 3. So we want to grab the third item. See, nested item. And we want to do this. No. I said 0, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we want to grab this one. Okay, and then we want to do something like add children. Boom. Yeah, but this is gonna be, we're just gonna add a couple. Wait. Okay, so that will add 2 more items in. Send keyboard input. Wait for, well, actually, I guess we want to move it all the way into one of these items. So, we would like to, let's see, nested item, left click expander. We want to expand it out. This guy does wait for expansion, so we don't need any of this stuff up here. And then we would like to grab the children in here. So this is going to be 3. We'll just grab its first child. Nested. Let's do level 2. And then we want to go nested item level 2, left click, and then this guy we will wait for. We'll wait for selection here. So wait for, just like we did the is selected up here on 136. We're going to basically do the same thing. In fact, I'm just going to steal that code because why not? We're going to go here, get selected, and then we're going to come here. Actually, we don't want to do double nested, do we? We want to do the collapse and then the jump up. So we actually want to do nested item. Left click expander. So we don't actually care about this. But I do want to left click, and then I do want to wait for his get is selected, and then we want to send left, verify get is select, or I want to send left, get is expanded, and then I want to grab, so the first one will expand it, and then we want to send it again, left arrow key to collapse, and then the left arrow to jump to parent. So this one here is the nested item underneath second item. And so then what we want to do is we want to get the focused element and confirm that that I guess what we want to do is verify second item is selected at that point. So we want to do, we actually want to do this now. And I don't know if selected is right. I think it is, because you're navigating with the keys. So yeah. So this should now fail, specifically this second assertion. I expect 155 to fail. Where did we fail? Let's make sure we're failing in the place we expect. 155 failed. Okay, excellent. That it failed in this place we expected. Move focus to parent. So this guy here wants to move focus up. The problem being is he doesn't have it, so he needs to reference the top level parent. Internal void move selection. We're going to need to do something about like this. We're going to need to do this. Yeah, I think we're going to need to do all, or need to do something akin to this. Move selection. Well, actually, what is that? This dot. Item container style selector change. On selection change event args. Just wondering if maybe I don't have to build as much as I thought. Let's see. So we probably want scroll into view. But I'm kind of wondering if we can just push selection to it and let the base class handle that for us. Move selection to parent. We'll just do that for the moment. Okay, so this guy's going to get the index of the current item. And then we want to walk up our item source, looking for the first item whose level is 1 less than ours. So if index less than 0, return, because we didn't find the thing. So I don't think we care too much about this. Let's see. It's not going to be parent level. This is going to be item level. And so we want to find the first item in the index for int I equal to index. I greater than or equal. Yeah, that. Thank you. Copilot, you want to write the rest of the code for me? You sure? You're doing such a great job. Okay. So let's see. If item source sub I actually I think it's item source get level of I. Yeah, because we just want to look at the level of the index.